GearNetwork.com.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm here to let you know that this podcast is sponsored by our store through Amazon. If you visit GearNetwork.com and click on the Amazon banner, it will take you directly to Amazon.com, and you can do all of your Amazon shopping. If you want it, Amazon has it at often the greatest prices, and it can be delivered right to your front door. And when you use it, you tell Amazon that we're referring you to them for your shopping, so they kick the network back a little something to help out with our production costs. There legitimately is no extra cost to you, and this legitimately helps out the Gear Network when you shop through our link. That's on GearNetwork.com. Click the Amazon banner, bookmark, save, and share. If you use it, please accept our thanks. If you do not use it, please consider doing so. Again, that is GearNetwork.com, and click on the Amazon banner at the top.
It's Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Shall we try this again?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. This is take 2, ladies and gentlemen, of episode 27. We're at 27 now.
Okay.
Of Get Ready America. Will you believe it? 27 episodes.
I don't know if I do believe it because you didn't sound very confident.
You know what? I can do this Spreaker search right now.
Well, no, we don't all want to have to wait while you look it up. You're supposed to just know these things.
I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty positive it's episode 27.
I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty positive. Well, I'm convinced. Are you guys convinced? Because
you should be
if John
convinced.
Being pretty positive doesn't convince you, I don't know
episode 27. While you were going ahead giving that whole spiel that no one's going to listen to, episode 27.
Well, somebody had to entertain him while you had to fact check.
That's right. I fact-checked because I care, dagnabbit. Mm-hmm. How are we doing, Dawn?
I'm good. How are you, John?
I am, you know what? I have enjoyed. We are recording this on Father's Day, and it's actually the evening now. All the kids are in bed and everything like that. I had a pretty damn good Father's Day, I gotta say. So thank you for that. I do appreciate everything that you do for me to make days like this very, very special. So I appreciate that. We attempted to do this last night, and I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. It was terrible, and that happens in the world of podcasting. That happens in the world of radio. Fortunately, being in podcasting, we can just say, let's get rid of it. Goodbye, and you know, we can listen. Oh, what's this segment here? Oh, this segment isn't. Okay, yeah, good. We can get rid of it. It's not like regular radio where, you know, if you're kind of live and it sucks, so that's it. You know, it's out there, but you don't hear any of that. But we've got some stuff that we're going to talk about today. I'm going through the list here, which thank you, Dawn, for doing this, because I am in no shape to be doing anything. Yeah, pretty much right now. We'll talk a little bit about our trip to Philadelphia. I was going there for a graduation, and we encountered some fun stuff.
We did. I have to tell you, driving around Rochester, there's some crappy areas of Rochester, and you drive through it, and our kids will make comments because, it's not somewhere we drive through all the time.
Right,
so,
right.
They see it, and they're like, wow, this is crazy. People live here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, that is like Fairport, Mendon, Pittsford, whatever, as compared to what the ghetto areas of Philly look like.
Yes, Philadelphia, I have to say, usually things are magnified in Hollywood cinema. Not so much the inner city of Philadelphia. It looks pretty much exactly as it did in the Rocky movies. And that was back in the 70s, the first Rocky movie. And it looked just like that.
There were more windows broken out or boarded up than there were actual windows in the building.
I gotta say, for all of you listeners out in Philly, and I know that there are listeners in Philly because I see the statistics. I'm going to give just one plug for something out there. They didn't. This is absolutely free. Now, if you want more, go to our GoFundMe page, GoFundMe/Gear Network. But Poo Poo's Chicken.
Poo Poo's Chicken, yes.
Poo Poo's Chicken. I haven't had any, but with a name like Poo Poo's Chicken, it's got to be. You got to be good. Because,
but really, really, in all seriousness, it really brings to light like the way some people actually have to live, like the level of poverty that still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so worried about feeding people in other countries and sending aid to other countries. And we have people in our own country that live in these conditions every single day, and we ignore them.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when you think about it, but you know, God forbid we help a few Somalian people out or whatever. I don't know. Help our own. That's what I say. You know what? Should we go ahead and bring up the pleasantries and then get the show underway?
Sure.
Or did you?
I don't know what pleasantries we have to bring up, but for it.
The show open and then
This is a show open.
No, this is the pre-show.
Oh, right. The pre-show.
Yes, the pre-show.
Hey, John.
Hey, Dawn.
Aren't you going to be on Better Live Than Dead?
I will be on Better Live Than Dead. That's right. This week, as a matter of fact, I will be on episode 49 of the Better Live Than Dead podcast. It is, I mentioned a few minutes ago about how it's crazy that it's been 27 episodes for Get Ready America. Mm-hmm. But Better Live Than Dead's about to hit 50. They are about to hit 50 episodes every week, never fail, not missed a week. They're about to hit a year. I want to say, if not July, then maybe August. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. But
all wait while you check?
Nope, we won't.
Oh.
I'll have that we'll have that in Better Live Than Dead 49. But so yeah, it's good. Check it out. I'll be on there talking sports in place of Perez, who will be. I believe he'll be doing a wedding or something, or he'll be out of town or something like that.
Doing a wedding?
Yeah, he marries people, you know.
Oh, he's marrying somebody?
I think so.
Gotcha.
Pretty positive. Could you imagine? We should have just had him marry us.
No.
Yeah, I think it would have been pretty sweet.
No.
Oh, well. All right, so yes, Better Live Than Dead. I will be on there this week, and no talking wrestling this week, probably. I don't know. Depends on what goes on in the wrestling world. But I'm not expecting to do another one of those episodes until after Battleground, which is 4 weeks from now. So those are quick notes. We ready to get into it?
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. This is a Gear Network production.
How do you feel about the finals' new 12-game format?
I mean, I think that it's really interesting that they are adding a few extra games to the format. I think the fans really like to see that. I feel bad for the athletes. It's a lot of playing, especially with that high of intensity, but I think it's a great thing.
Now, what was your reaction to the Cavs signing LeBron's cousin, Kevin James?
My reaction towards that was like, well, it's a family member. Hopefully he could be as good or maybe equal as LeBron, or LeBron will work with him.
This was all over the news, and fans are kind of up in arms about it. What did you think when the refs ruled that Steph Curry's shot from the half court in Game 1 was the NBA's first 4-point shot?
That's funny. We were just talking about that at lunch today.
Were you?
Yes, everybody is up in arms, but they think that it is definitely going to kind of give some reassurance to the fans that hopefully now they will be calling some good calls.
I mean, where were you when you saw that shot?
I was at home.
Okay. The results for tonight's Game 3 were leaked online. Now, did you read them, or are you going to avoid the spoilers?
I'm going to avoid the spoilers. I want to enjoy the game. I want to enjoy the moment.
Now, as you know, Kevin Love has been on the injured list because of the nasty skeet ball accident. Now, do you think Kevin was to blame, or it was Dave & Buster's employees for not wiping down the machinery properly?
Everybody's responsible. Number one, no, you don't go out and have any fun when you're in the finals of the NBA. You don't go out and do things to injure yourself. And Dave & Buster's, yes, wipe up, please. How hard is that?
I mean, it's very exciting that we have some players that we haven't seen in a while come off the bench.
Yes.
Like, we have I'm a Liar coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about his play?
I think his play, to be honest with you, it's hard to say. We're in the finals. Everyone is going to step up their game.
Let's look down the lens and give I'm a Liar a little bit of support.
I'm a liar. You're number one!
American Dream.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York, and broadcast worldwide on GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America.
And those are supposed to be sports fans. Those are supposed to be fans of the Cleveland Cavaliers while they're in the finals. How do you like? I think one of my favorite ones of that live witness news is him asking about LeBron's cousin Kevin James, who, for those of you who are not familiar with Kevin James, he's Paul Blart Mall Cop. Not anywhere near LeBron James, folks. But and the lady that was talking about the 4-point shot during her lunch break. Interesting.
The 4-point shot.
Yes, yes, amazing. From coast to coast, continent to continent, and border to border, from China to Canada to Kazakhstan to all over the world. Hey, hello Panama, welcome. This is GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America, and the background song you're hearing, tribute to the one and only incomparable late, great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, who, of course, we know passed away a couple of weeks ago now at this point, but this is the Common Man Boogie, Dawn. That make you want to get down, make you want to get funky like a monkey, baby. It's my American Dream voice. JCDC here with you, Dawn. Say hello.
Hi.
And before we go ahead and get into everything here, I'd like to tell you about our friend Eric. That's Eric Emanon and IndyCard Media. IndyCard Media is a local business that specializes in making quality designs for your site or business at great prices. If you need proof, take a look at all of our logos. The Get Ready America and the Better Live and Dead logos are sweet. The Gear Network logos, both of them. The one that this normal one that you see and love, and then of course the Red Wings theme logo. Pretty amazing. I think I'm going to try and have him do something for the Amherst or the Nighthawks or something during that season. I think it would kind of be cool. But anyways, he does them very well. Visit Facebook.com/IndyCardMedia to see his designs, all of them, and give him a shout at IndyCardMafia@gmail.com and make your designs come to life. Make them breathe air. Give them something. Give them some life, man. Aye, Scott from Scott's. Give your design some life. Give him some life, man. Feed it. Visit IndyCard Mafia and IndyCard Media and do it right now. How do you like that, huh?
Oh, it's something.
That's my Scott from Scott's impersonation. We know how much you like my impersonations.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's move right along.
Move right along. Lead the way, honey.
How about that Ken Shamrock fight? We watched that. Talk about a tense. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat whole time.
You were on the edge of your seat because my fat ass was togging up all of it except fell asleep during it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not see it, Bellator MMA on Spike TV. They usually air these free MMA fights. Not obviously, it's MMA, but it's not UFC. It's not the level of UFC. It's Bellator. And they dragged Ken Shamrock, 51 years young, out of retirement to face 41-year-old Kimbo Slice. And it was supposed to be, I guess, the backstory to this fight was it was supposed to happen a few years ago. And I don't know if you remember when CBS tried taking a stab at MMA, and it was Kimbo was undefeated, and he was supposed to fight Ken Shamrock that day, and then Shamrock fell ill or something, so some scrub was put in his place, and he ended up beating Kimbo. It was like, I don't know if you remember that, but it was talked about, and it kind of just like Kimbo faded after that. But that was when it was supposed to happen, and that was, I think, in 2009 or 2010. So now we're here in 2015. Shamrock's getting out of his wheelchair to get in there. He looked awful. I felt horrible because I want to remember Ken Shamrock as the world's most dangerous man, as the guy who dominated UFC in its early days and then crossed over and went to WWE and was, doing his thing there. And I want to remember him like that. I don't want to remember him as this old guy trying to get his last taste of glory, getting knocked out by Kimbo Slice.
I mean, I kind of find it funny coming from you.
From me? Why?
For you to say that.
Why do you say that?
Because I completely agree. I cannot stand when people way past their prime try to come back to relive their glory days because they just can't let it go. But you get so hyped up whenever these old, decrepit wrestlers limp down to the ring to try to jump around, and all we see is their flabs shaking, Their gray hair and wrinkles, everything's bouncing around. It looks like they could have a stroke or a heart attack in the middle of the ring. It's embarrassing.
It's one thing, I guess, if it's the Royal Rumble when they come in, because that's when a lot of them come in, is during the Royal Rumble. They come in, they get the cheap pop, hit a young buck, relive your glory, and then they toss him over the top rope.
But it's so sad to me that they have nothing else going for their life, that they just can't live without that.
Well, you can't say that for everybody. DDP was a surprise in the last year's Rumble, and he's got plenty going for him with his DDP yoga. He doesn't need to wrestle another match ever again.
But he also doesn't look like Flair coming out to the ring.
Okay.
Or
Very valid
Hogan
point.
still coming
Very
out
valid
to
point. Very valid point.
So that's totally different.
I remember, little known fact, I made Dawn look at this Hulk Hogan's last TNA wrestling match, which I think took place at that time in 2011. It was Hulk Hogan versus Sting. But Hogan couldn't really wrestle. He couldn't bump. He couldn't do anything because he had just had back surgery. But he was still trying to get out there and relive his glory. And there was his back fat was all just, drooping over his freaking jeans. And he just looked awful. And I remember showing you that, and you were like, why would you show me this? This is disgusting.
I think maybe the most embarrassing, and he wasn't as old as some of the others, but the most embarrassing thing, I guess, how do I want to word this? I was most embarrassed for Batista when he reemerged trying to dress.
He tried to dress
he was younger, I guess. I mean, the skinny jeans, and I was embarrassed for him.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Horrible.
That was pretty bad. Batista in skinny jeans is not something I recommend anybody seeing. That's he did split it, didn't he?
He did split his pants.
I can't remember exactly maybe he was trying to give somebody Batista bomb and he
I don't remember.
ripped his pants,
I'll have to think, but I do remember him ripping his pants.
All right, so yeah, that was horrible. Hopefully, you MMA fans looked at that and were like, yeah, this sucks.
Probably nobody even knew what was going on. They're like, what are you talking about?
It's bad enough when you can't get it on XfinityTV.go.
It is pretty bad when you can't get it on.
If you can't get it on,
Xfinity TV.
Let's get it on. Right.
We should get this show on.
Yes. Well, I thought we were.
Oh. Did it start yet?
Oh, it started. We're past the pre-show now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay.
You've drank less than I have today. I know where we are, thanks to your wonderful notes here.
Now everybody's going to be like, oh, my God, they're drinking and recording again. How dare they?
Bang, bang.
Our one listener in Vietnam is going to be like, they're drunk.
Oh, they're drunk. No, anyways. All right, next subject. Alex Rodriguez, our favorite Yankee, I guess. We spoke about this at length a couple of weeks ago about at the time he had hit 660 home runs and tied Willie Mays, and then ultimately broke it. And I asked the question that I'm going to ask again: do you care, Yankees fans? Have you, as baseball, embraced Alex and given him this second, although it's probably his third or fourth chance at this point, but second chance? Is he up for comeback player of the year? Is he an all-star? He hit, before you go ahead and respond, he hit number 3,000 was a home run off of Justin Verlander. And then the next day, he hit number 3,001. That was also a home run. Yankees fans at the stadium, yay, A-Rod, curtain call, all that crap. Me as a lifelong Yankees fans, and I go back to the Don Mattingly days. I cannot, I'm so torn. I'm so conflicted. I know I'm supposed to cheer for him, but I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And that I don't think that makes me a bad fan, but in the same, how do you cheer that guy? How do you cheer him when what he's done?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would not be out there cheering for him and supporting him in that way. It's kind of surprising to me to hear people do that, and I think, with the Yankees, so many people like the Yankees. Mm-hmm. They're just that team, and so many of those people are not true baseball fans.
Right, I agree.
So I think that what you see is a lot of that.
Very similar to current Patriots fans with the New England Patriots.
They're just that
they know
team.
Belichick, they know Brady, they may know Robert Kraft, the owner. They know nobody else.
No, they don't know that. But to me, somebody who's grown up watching the Yankees, always looked at it as a respectable organization. Honestly, I just don't care about him right now.
Right.
I don't. And I think a lot of real hardcore baseball Yankee fans don't care. They just don't care. They're tired of hearing about it. They're tired of talking about it. Let's just ride this out. Get us some runs. Get us the home runs because you're on the team. Great. We'll take it. When is he retiring again?
No, I don't know if he's going to keep hitting like this out of the DH position. Right. After the Yankees are done with him, someone's going to pick him up.
Right. I mean, I don't really care. Yeah. I guess is what I'm getting to. He just is not that significant. We're just trying to ride it out until he's no longer a Yankee. I think at this point, I don't feel happy that he's on the team right now, but great that he's getting us some.
Yeah, I will say from a go team perspective, right. Thankfully the AL East is not a very good division this year. So the Yankees being, as of press time, June 21st when we're recording this, I believe they're 37-31 now at this point. And I mean, as long as they keep that pace, hell, they could win the division by default, which is more than I gave them earlier in the season. So. Yeah, I guess we'll stay tuned, and I'm sure we'll probably talk about that as the season winds down, and of course football when the season ramps up, because I'm sure we're going to hear our fair share of Bills fans' proclamations. Before I go ahead and cue the MLB bumper, I was listening to our first episode.
Okay.
And on our first episode, we were talking about your brother-in-law, my brother-in-law, I guess too. Asking Siri when the Bills were 2-0.
Right.
And I was laughing at that, and it made me think that week 3 of the NFL season is going to be 1 year of Get Ready America, and I wonder if we should ask Siri at that point who the best team in the NFL is.
Well, it's only fitting to do so.
I would think we should see. We are making plans. All right. So we're going to go ahead, get to a commercial break, but first, if I may, a quick word about MLB.tv. Gear Network is proud to be an affiliate of Major League Baseball.tv. Right now, you can go to our website, click on the banner, Dawn, and you can sign up for the premium package for only $99.99 for the rest of the season. You get all the games. You get the Emmy Award-winning At-Bat app for free for your phone, so you can take the goodness with you wherever you go. Follow your teams. Follow the teams you don't like. Follow everybody. It's another easy way to support our podcast and support your teams. Do it, and do it right now.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
This podcast is sponsored by GearNetwork.com/Amazon. Help keep my podcast free. Stop through Amazon. We thank you. Good night now.
Okay, listeners, so you hear us talking all the time about visiting the website for all of the podcast or Amazon shopping needs, but you are often not on your desktop to bring up the browser and visit. You ask us for a better way to take gear with you, and now we have that for you. Introducing the Gear Network app. Take the power of the Gear Network with you wherever you go. Listen or download all Gear Network programming, including Better Live Than Dead, Get Ready America, The JC Money Show Uncensored, Talking Wrestling, and others. You can also shop Amazon, post on our wall, follow our favorite local sports teams, and access all our social network profiles and so much more. And best of all, it's free. Zip, zilch, cost you nada. Visit GearNetwork.com on your phone's browser and click on the banner to download the app to your Android device. iOS people, don't fret. Yours is coming soon. Give it a download and take us with you wherever, okay? Okay, that's GearNetwork.com's app through GearNetwork.com.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
Hello, Sugar. You hear that song, right?
I do.
Maroon 5, Sugar.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. I enjoy it, and you can enjoy it as well. Go to GearNetwork.com/Amazon. It's on Amazon MP3. Buy it through us. 99 cents. Can't go wrong. Good track. Help us out. Help yourself out. All right, so major news from last week, and it's a sensitive one. but we have to talk. I feel we have to talk about it because this is Get Ready America, and one of the things that we pride ourselves on, I guess, is being American. And you know, it's very, very tough to just be politically correct when it comes to this particular subject. So I'm just going to flat out say what comes to mind, and I apologize if anything I say offends anyone. But in this particular case, where there is a shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, at a historic black church called the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church, there was a young man, Caucasian, opened fire in the church. 9 people, 9 African Americans who were there worshiping, dead.
I believe it was a Bible study group, and that he actually attended the meeting and sat through it for like an hour. I thought that I had read.
Yeah, I believe it was something like that. He didn't just walk in and open fire.
Right,
he was
service.
He was there. He was sitting down, kind of alone, but there, and he did what he ended up doing his thing. And to me, that is, it's not. It's 100% a race thing.
Yeah,
he even said it as much. He said he was trying to get a race war going on, but at what point does this fake cloud of unity that we try to sell to everybody, that it's not like it was, it's not, and maybe it's not to the degree where there's white bathrooms and colored bathrooms, or Rosa Parks in the back of in the front of the bus or whatever, the back of the bus, maybe it's not to that degree, but still, it's very, very alive and very, very present, and it's sad. It's really sad that things like this happen and honestly continue to happen. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it happens across the board, whether it be black, white to black, whatever the case may be, it happens all too frequently. Now, you say that we're kind of under this cloud, so to speak. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I really do think that things have improved through time. It's just everybody wants it to be 100% just gone. There's no longer any race issues, which in a perfect world would be great. But unfortunately, these things do take time. And a lot of time, I mean, you're talking about a deep history of right. So
very,
you're not
deep.
just going to erase that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, really even 50 years. I don't think that this is something that we're going to see resolved in our time.
No.
And probably not even our kids necessarily in their time, but hopefully their kids, in that generation, may really see a huge difference. But things are getting better. It's not what it once was.
I would just like to know one thing. When does it go from being the excuse of because I'm black, because I'm white, because I'm Latin, because I'm this, to just being about some people do dumb shit because they're stupid?
Correct.
It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with color or creed. It's just they're dumb and they do dumb stuff. And when because a lot of it starts with that. A lot of it starts with someone doing something stupid, someone calling it out, and then it's, why are you saying this? Because I'm black? Because I'm this? Because I'm this? And then it just all of a sudden becomes a race thing.
Correct.
And when does that end?
Well, let's talk about the shooting. So
Okay.
the shooting happens, right? And so now there's all this debate, well, it's a hate crime. Well, obviously it's a hate crime.
Yes,
Clearly,
it is.
right?
It is.
But now they're talking about, how white people still have issue with black people. That's how they're calling it out. But you're calling that out and you're grouping that now.
Right, yeah.
So you're bringing about more race issues.
Right.
You're grouping all of us white people against all of you black people, and that's not the case.
Right.
This, I don't even want to call him a guy. He's a kid. A young man, I guess. He's just an idiot. He obviously is full of hate. There's clearly something wrong with him, as there is anybody who murders and takes another person's life. There's something wrong with him. So why make it into something bigger than that? Now it's, somehow all white people have an issue with all black people and vice versa when it happens the other way. That's not the case. So,
well, that's kind of what happens, big picture. 9 lives were lost. Right. 9 families lost loved ones. Okay? That's what the focus should be on, and it shouldn't be, like you said, a mass thing where it's all the whites versus all the blacks and all the, this group and all of that group and all of this group. It's not. It's a plain and simple fact that a 21-year-old jackass killed 9 people because he's a jackass.
Right. And the sad thing, to your point, is rather than us focusing on those 9 people who lost their life, we're doing exactly what that 21-year-old jackass, as you said, wanted us to do.
Right.
That's exactly what he wanted.
Exactly what he would have done, or he has done.
It's really the media.
Oh, yeah.
The media is giving him what they want, which they often do, because even when you're talking about people who go to schools and commit these mass murders, they want their name out there. That's what they're looking for.
They want their name out there, and the most important thing of all, and we'll close this out, the most important thing of all is ratings. That's what it is, as far as the media is concerned. They'll know people will watch it, and that's why they'll keep going and putting different angles on it. It works in several different avenues, and that's why, thank God, I push Gear as being very independent, as, we don't.
And let me just say, before we close this out, because I really think that this is an important statement to say, if you really want to help stop these types of acts, just the overall racism that still goes on across all races, it needs to start in your own home. You need to stop talking badly about other races around your children, because you might think you're making jokes in front of your kid, but you're instilling in them that viewpoint. So now they're thinking, oh, white people are so stupid, they talk like this, and oh, black people are always criminals and they're going to steal. I mean, just these stupid things that you say so casually.
Right.
You're instilling that in your children, and they're coming up with that. So you can go out and you can march. You can put out all your Facebook blasts about how horrible it is, but if you're not starting in your own home with your own children, then you are part of the problem.
Amen. All right. Good talk, Dawn. I appreciate that. It was real good and very, very valid points. Listeners, you know what? You want to weigh in? Facebook.com/Gear Network, Facebook.com/TheJC Money. You can go to TheJC Money on Twitter, The Gear Girl, Gear Network on Twitter. Talk to us. We like hearing from you. Subject depending, but
I don't know if I've heard from anybody yet.
No?
Our listeners, for some reason, are just really quiet, like they're too scared to say anything.
Well, you know what I like to think? I like to think maybe we hit the points that they already hit, and they're like, cool! Someone speaks our language! I don't know. I got nothing. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Perez here, telling you about FanDuel's one-day fantasy baseball leagues. Every day you pick the player you want, you can pick a whole team, and play for real money against other users. FanDuel has over 20,000 one-day leagues, so joining in is never an issue. Also, there's no daily commitment, so you play whenever you want. The best part? over $2 million in prizes every single day. And if you sign up through gearnetwork.com/FanDuel, you help support the network and keep this podcast free.
Hey, Dawn, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little of what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger. Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
It's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got it.
I like it.
You know the dictionary.
I like it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are better live than dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Segment 3 is here, and it is the
best part of the show.
Best part of the show. I was just about to say that. The most popular segment on this show. So, as I do every week when it comes to this time and in this particular segment, I ask, Dawn.
John?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Dawn's news you may or may not be able to use. There's your cue, Dawn. The stage is yours.
So, John, you know, a lot of people work really long hours. They go to work really early, and they drink lots of coffee at work, right?
Right. You would know about the whole coffee drinking
I am a coffee drinker.
Right.
So I know that I have always drank a lot of coffee at work.
Okay.
Well, this woman from Minnesota does as well.
Minnesota!
So imagine her surprise when she found out that her coworker, who was trying very hard to get her attention, decided to jerk off in her coffee.
Come on.
Yep. Now, she didn't know that he had done this. She just knew that her coffee had a strange taste to it recently and thought maybe the creamers were spoiled.
Oh, the creamers were something.
It was spoiled, all right.
It sure was.
So, not only did he jerk off in her coffee cup, but he also did it on her desk, reportedly 4 times, and then he used her hair scrunchies to wipe it up.
Jesus Christ.
It's just so disgusting.
And
she eventually found out that this was happening because she caught him in the act with his hands on his crotch.
On his junk?
Yes. And when he turned around, he looked a little surprised, trying to cover himself back up. So, apparently she saw it on her desk. Along with her scrunchie, which was soaked in it. So she put it all in a bag, called the police. They came, they confiscated that bag along with her coffee cup and a couple other things, and that's how they discovered that there was semen in the cup. So that he then did go on to admit to the fact that he had done that.
Wonderful.
So, you know, if you're attracted to a woman, I guess that would be one way to go about it.
Well, that's one way to get attention. I don't know if it's necessarily the attention that he wanted, but...
But, you know, not everybody, John, is attracted to women.
No.
Right.
No,
I mean, some people like men.
Some people do.
Some people like animals. Like this woman from Florida. Thank you, Florida.
Oh, thank you, Florida.
Who was arrested for having sexual relations with her dog.
What?
Yes, police found multiple pictures taken of her in sexual situations with her dog, upon confiscating her phone.
Yes, I'm sorry. I know that this is distracting to you, but I find these things.
And the woman admitted to having the dog give her oral sex 30 to 40 times.
Jesus.
Police say that the dog's been checked out by a vet, though.
No syphilis?
Well, other than a severe case of herpes in the mouth, the dog's fine. No, I'm just kidding. The dog's fine. It's herpes-free.
Oh, and when we asked the dog about it, this is what he said. And so we backed off.
That sounded not like a dog at all.
Maybe that was, you know what? Maybe that might have been.
That was a lion.
Maybe that might have been the coffee guy that was.
It sounded more like the coffee guy.
Okay.
In related news.
Related? Oh boy, related news.
In Texas, another state which is never short on news for my segment.
Oh yes, thank you, Tejas.
A man has been arrested after he was found in a horse stable with a broken leg. The owner found him when she went to feed the horses in the morning and recognized him as a man who was previously arrested for having sex with her horses. So apparently he's a repeat offender.
This was a return engagement?
Yes, it's a return to the same barn. So maybe you remember the story about the guy with the dolphin who he was in love with it. Maybe this man is in love with the horse.
I like my horses long and tall and American Pharaoh. I love you, boy.
The man claimed he was hit by a car and took shelter in the horse barn. However, police found that he was actually injured when he tried to perform a sexual act on the horse, and the horse kicked him in the leg, breaking his leg. Oh, I forgot to mention, thank you, Ryan, for the Florida story, by the way. That was courtesy of Ryan.
Oh, God.
And if anybody ever wants to send me news stories, you can hit me up at the Gear Girl on Twitter.
Yes. Do that. Please.
You know, switching gears a little bit.
Mind the pun.
A lot of people did photo shoots for Father's Day.
They did.
Photo shoots of their kids, whatnot. Well, a couple did a photo shoot for Father's Day.
All right.
With their young child.
Okay.
Apparently, the father's a huge Batman fan.
Okay.
So they dressed him up. The father was Batman. The child was Robin. And they had to save the mother.
What could possibly go wrong?
That they would tie her to train tracks.
What?
And do a photo shoot with her, you know, pretending to be tied to the train tracks while Batman and Robin come in and rescue her.
Okay.
Now, they claim that they checked and got confirmation that it was not an active train track. So.
Oh, God. Seriously?
But, you know, and maybe they did. But what's happening, what the problem is they're actually now receiving death threats after their picture went viral from people. Somebody's actually started blasting out their address.
Really?
Talking about how horrible they are as parents, you know, to do this and how dangerous it could have been.
Uh-huh.
And they are getting death threats, and they're now scared to go back to their own home because people are so enraged by this photo shoot.
Okay.
So, what do you think about that? I mean, it's stupid, but
yes,
and the same, they do claim that they checked and verified that it wasn't an active track.
Okay. So I mean, it's kind of up to them, really. You know, who is everybody to give them death threats if they did
if it was an active train track, then, you know, CPS would probably be involved in this.
Right.
But, it's stupid. It was dumb. Mm-hmm. But I get why they thought it was a good idea, and I just think it's crazy that they're actually getting death threats over this.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. What state is that out of? Did you say already?
You know, I don't know what state that was out of, actually. I'm not sure.
Can we make up? Can we make up a state?
You can probably find, apparently, their address online.
I'm going to make it up. I'm going to say Omaha. Omaha!
You know, speaking of different states, let's talk about North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Weather's getting nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
School's almost out for us here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people starting vacations.
Just hit the first day of summer, you know, gotta love it.
Right. So they've actually already had, just in the last month, 2 pretty serious shark attacks in North Carolina.
Oh, jeez.
And actually, a 12-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy both suffered severe injuries in 2 separate incidences on beaches just a few miles away from each other within hours of each other. And
Really?
both ended up losing, parts of limbs.
Jeez.
So
that's no good.
That's pretty crazy. And then just 2 days prior to that, another young girl was attacked by a shark, but only received minor injuries as the shark actually bit her boogie board, also right around the same area.
Okay, so people, you should probably not go around that area.
Right. And then over the last 2 days, I've actually seen 2 different videos of beaches right along the same few mile range.
Mm-hmm.
One guy early in the morning caught a group of sharks right along shore. I mean, in water that was probably waist deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty crazy. And then another one of a bunch of sharks attacking what must have been some kind of animal, fish or something, in the water. It's crazy. So I prefer to stay on the sand. When I go to the ocean, I love being at the ocean, my favorite place to be. But I don't love going in the ocean. I don't like the jellyfish. I don't like whatever. I'm not a big fan. And this just further solidifies the fact that I am not going in the ocean. So you all have fun going in the water in North Carolina when you go.
Listen, I'll tell you this. I'm not even scared of the sharks. I wouldn't go in the water because I would be scared of the sharks. You know why I wouldn't go in the water? Stingrays.
Stingrays.
Listen, they killed the crocodile hunter. A stingray killed the crocodile hunter.
I don't think we have stingrays like that come up to the shore.
No?
I don't believe so.
Crikey.
Well, your stupid comment reminds me of some of the stupidity I was seeing on Facebook.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
There's
get ready,
never
America.
A shortage of it.
No. Facebook is a good place to find the stupid.
And it's not just Facebook; it's social media in general.
Right.
The things that you see.
Right.
It's an unfortunate thing.
Except for Google Plus, because nobody goes on there.
Now that you do, and Lewis does.
I haven't gone on Google Plus in eons.
I don't know, but anyways, so social media has brought about a spotlight to stupidity.
Okay.
Because it's not as easy to hide now.
I don't disagree.
And I see it every day, but one that jumped out at me is I saw a post on one of the mom boards I'm on for selling things. So this lady's trying to sell her little Mickey Mouse toy that apparently wraps.
Wraps. But she lists it as a raping Mickey Mouse. Oh, God.
So
come on.
This is one of those times where it's very important to make sure that you spell words properly, because there is a big difference between a rapping Mickey Mouse and a raping Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
and I don't know about you, John, but I'm not paying $15 for a Mickey Mouse that's going to come rape me.
I'm not going to pay $15 for a Mickey Mouse that would rap, but definitely not one that would rape.
And then when I pointed it out to her ever so nicely, she called me out because it's so ridiculous for somebody to point out spelling mistakes. And who am I, the grammar police?
You goddamn grammar Nazi! How dare you tell me how to spell S-P-H-E-H-L?
I'm just saying. That's one of those things.
That is a pet peeve of mine. It is a pet peeve of mine when people misspell, and then you tell them that they're misspelling, and then they get mad because you're telling them that they're misspelling. Like, I hate to keep bringing up pro wrestlers, but pro wrestlers do it all the goddamn time. Mm-hmm. You see it all the time. Brian Emanon doing it all the time. And it was bad because I can remember when I was actually working program with Brian Emanon, and we were doing like a social media like back and forth banter, which is stupid anyways, but and he was just giving me like his whole thing was, I'm gonna beat you, JC Money, and blah 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 blah, and this and this. But he was misspelling every other word, so my comebacks were always correcting his spelling, which was pissing him off and pissing off the office and whatever. But, I mean, bottom line, if you're going to take the time to go online and post out in public, Learn to spell. Use your spell check. For Christ's sakes, most browsers have the word you misspell highlighted, and all you got to do is right-click, and your computer automatically corrects the word. It's simple. Easy breezy Japanesey.
I also saw, selfies are a big thing.
Selfies are a big thing.
And girls love to take selfies in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how before posting a picture, people do not, I know if I take a picture of anything, myself, my kids, whatever, if I'm going to post it, I really look at that picture because I want to know what's in it before I post it. Twice now, I've seen some really crazy things with mirror selfies. Once back in the day, this girl who I went to high school with posted a selfie of herself.
Uh-huh.
But she was naked in the bathroom.
Oh.
And it was not a pleasant sight.
And I'm guessing
for anybody,
it was
I don't
supposed
think.
to be just like a face.
And it was just a headshot in the mirror, that she was taking, but you could see that there's a mirror behind her and a mirror in front of her, so you get a full...
Oh, God.
The funniest thing. And then, and I think I saw this before, but I don't remember, but I saw it in one of the mom groups I was in again, that because some moms are mean, they must have been going through another mom on the board's profile pictures and came across one, and another one where she posted a selfie.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing the thing that girls sometimes do where they put their arm under their boobs to try to boost them up to make it look like they have some.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just in a bra. So then you can see in the mirror this big, huge stomach underneath. And apparently she didn't notice, so, they had to bring that. So I'm just saying, how does that happen?
Oh, God.
I don't get that. And who are you fooling?
Crop, people, crop. Crop your photos.
But that's how guys get pulled in, because they think they're talking to one person, and that is not at all.
And then they meet the real person. It's like, hey, how are you, baby?
Yeah, typically the guys know better.
Y'all wanna get something to eat?
When in all honesty, they probably could show their whole selves, because come on, we all know guys, it doesn't really matter what you look like anyways.
Yes, it does.
Well, it depends if you're looking for a relationship or...
Okay.
Anyways, but that's all I got.
All right. Thank you.
Pay attention to what you're posting on Facebook. And please, for the love of God, stop making the stupid duck face, because it doesn't look good on anybody.
That works both ways,
or
too.
Or a guy. Oh,
Guys.
my God. If you're a guy, please stop, because it's even worse.
Jesus Christ. Yes. It's true. It's true. It's true. It is the gospel truth. The duck face is the most...
Just smile.
Just smile. The duck face makes you look like a complete I'm sorry.
Or
it
a
does.
skank.
Yes. If you're a male, it makes you look like a skank. If you're a female, it makes you look and a skank. But, all right. Dawn, thank you very much for your contributions, as you do every week. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to us this week. We did a much better job this second time around, so thank you, Dawn, for giving me the proverbial kick in the ass to get this going, because I was pretty much set on just being like, whatever. But, all right, this is a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Radio Networks, and any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of the Gear Radio Networks is strictly prohibited. Dawn, thanks again. Join me, along with Ryan Wolf and maybe Eric Emanon, I'm not sure, on Better Live Than Dead, episode 49, this Saturday. We're going to be recording, and it's actually going to be taking air the following Sunday. So, I'll be on there, and then Dawn and I will be back again next week. God willing, nothing else comes up. It's been a very, very busy early summer for us. So, Dawn, any last words?
No.
All right. Thank you, listeners. So long, everybody.
Good night now.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.